Today, we will learn to use a very interesting weapon, AGM-84E SLAM missile. This missile, modified from the Harpoon anti-ship missile, has one great feature, which is that you can see the images detected by the missile's own seeker. From these live images, you can intervene in the midway to control the missile's flight direction to achieve the purpose of finding and aiming at the target. Maybe you call this function TV missile in many video games, but we will call this function more rigorously as man in the loop. In order to facilitate your learning, our aircraft is currently in a dynamic suspension state. You can operate the corresponding instrument, but don't worry, the aircraft will not really fly forward. After getting ready to start learning, press spacebar to continue. As you learned before, the AGM-84E is a weapon against targets on the sea or on the ground. So in the first step, you need to enter the air-to-ground mode. Click on the highlighted AG button to activate the AG mode. When the AG mode is activated, your two DDIs will enter the two default function pages. The left DDI is the weapon selection page. You can see the weapon loading information of your current aircraft here. The right DDI will by default show the radar's air-to-ground mode. The functions of the two digital displays are exactly the same and interchangeable. However, based on our teaching, we mainly use the left display for our operation. Press spacebar to continue. On the weapon selection page, you can see that currently the aircraft is loaded with 4 AGM-84E missiles, which are under 4 pylons, and they are marked as SLAM. Press spacebar to continue. In the middle of the weapon selection page, the object marked as DL13 is the data link point. The image of the missile is transmitted back to the aircraft by this device. When you want to use the man-in-the-loop weapon, there will definitely be at least one pylon to carry the data link pod. Press spacebar to continue. To choose the missile, press the button corresponding to the SLAM mark in the upper left corner of the digital display to select the SLAM missile. Multiple presses will cancel the selection. After selecting the SLAM missile, press spacebar to continue. After selecting the SLAM missile, the page will become the setup page of the SLAM missile. When you enter the page for the first time, a countdown will appear in the upper left corner, which means that this weapon is undergoing calibration. When the calibration is completed, the time countdown will disappear, indicating that the missile can now work normally. The SLAM missile page includes a lot of optional functions, and you only need to remember a few key parameters at present. Press spacebar to continue. The step function in the middle of the right side of the screen can switch between different missiles on the different pylons. We currently have a total of 4 SLAM missiles, from left to right on the pylon 2, 3, 7, and 8. We select the SLAM on the far right, which is under the 8th pylon. When the missile calibration is completed and can be launched, the ready mark will be displayed below the corresponding pylon. Keep clicking on the step function until the selection of missile number 8. Then press spacebar to continue. The mode function on the upper left corner of the screen can adjust the deployment mode of the selected missile. Press the mode button to change from the PP mode to the TOO mode. It should be noted that each missile on the pylon needs to change its mode once after selection. After changing the currently selected missile's mode to the TOO mode, press spacebar to continue. The E fuse button on the left tells the fuse setting of the weapon. There is only an instantaneous fuse on the SLAM missile. Click the button to open the fuse. You can see it in the missile data column. Click the E fuse button to set the missile fuse as instant. Now we need to connect our missile with the data link port. Click the DL13 button to turn on the data link port. This time, the WEP function will be activated. Click the WEP button and enter the weapon selection menu. You can see 4 SLAM buttons on the left side of the screen, representing the 4 missiles you currently have. Click any SLAM button to connect the missile to the pod. You can notice that the SLAM mark appears below the DL13 button. This indicates that the missile has been connected to the data link pod. Press spacebar to continue. Next, we need to send the target point to the missile. Now come to the right display. Click the highlighted main menu button on the lower middle of the right DDI to enter the tag page. Click the main menu button again to enter the support page. In the highlighted position in the lower left corner of the support page, find the HSI button. If not, click the main menu button several times until the HSI button is found. When you find the HSI button, press spacebar to continue. Click the HSI button and enter the HSI page. Click the highlighted up arrow to select the waypoint number from small to large. Press spacebar to continue. Press the highlighted down arrow to select the waypoint number from large to small. Press spacebar to continue. The number between the 2 arrows is the waypoint number currently selected. Our target is located around waypoint 2. Click the up arrow or the down arrow to select waypoint 2. Then press spacebar to continue. After you select waypoint 2, click the highlighted WPDSG waypoint designate button in the lower right corner to set the waypoint 2 as the target point TGT. When the weapon is ready, you can see a large circle on the HSI page, which represents the dynamic launch zone DLZ of the weapon. This represents the range of the missile. Only when entering the range, the missile has enough power to fly to the target. Due to different physical conditions such as your height and speed, the range of the weapon is subjected to calculation, which is dynamic and not fixed. We are currently in the range of the missile. At this time, on the right side of your HUD, the in-range tips will be displayed. Otherwise, we will see the range countdown (TMR) of how long we still need to fly. Press spacebar to continue. Although it is a guided weapon, launching a weapon still requires the aircraft to fly roughly in the direction of the target, which can reduce the fuel consumption by the missile to adjust the direction. In addition, because the weapon itself is not sufficiently powered, when dropping the weapon, the aircraft should be at a high altitude and speed, especially if the missile's cruise height that you set before is even higher. When you are ready, press the weapon release button on the stick to launch the missile. Missile launch. At present, the missile is flying towards the target as planned. Now, watch your left DDI. Both the highlighted SLAM and DL13 buttons are selected. Click the SLAM button to deselect it. When only the DL13 button is selected, the data link image page will be entered. You will wonder why the image is very blurred and contains nothing, because the missile you just launched is still in flight. According to your setting, the missile's guide system will start within about 10 nautical miles from the target. During this time, let's take a look at the functions of this page. Press spacebar to continue. The highlighted AATM button on the left side of the screen is used to select the antenna direction. Box selected will enable the front antenna, and cancelling the box selection will enable the rear antenna. This function can be used for adjustment when the missile image is too blurred. Press spacebar to continue. Click the highlighted weapon button in the weapon selection submenu. The 4 buttons on the left will display slabs from top to bottom. It represents the number of the 4 pylons, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Click the highlighted button representing pylon number 8. You can see that the slab. Take a closer look at the lower right corner of the left DDR. Here is the character CH008, which represents that the current image comes from the missile on the pylon number 8. At present, we need to wait until the missile approaches the target by about 10 nautical miles. Also in the upper right corner, you can vaguely see that the TTS mark indicates the countdown time of the seeker of the missile. Now we have received the missile image. Click the highlighted AGM button to select the appropriate image resolution. You can now control the missile in real time. Press the sensor controller switch on the stick to the left to activate the left DDI. When the left DDI is activated, you can see the diamond-shaped mark in the upper right corner of the left DDI. Press, hold, and move the TDC controller so that you can change the aiming position of the missile. The missile will change its direction to the new target point designated by the TDC controller. Find and aim at the carrier in the port and hit it. Very good. You hit the carrier in the port. Next, we will lift the dynamic suspension. You will get full control of the aircraft and be able to operate freely to practice many times. Or you can press escape to quit the mission. After pressing spacebar, the dynamic suspension will be lifted.